We all know Batman. Over the years, he has proven to be one of the most popular superheroes in the world, right alongside Spider-Man and Superman. But do you know his entire backstory? Things like how he was created, the people who created him, and his first ever comic. Or what about the popularity of the character now and the people who have portrayed him in media? Today, you will discover all of that and more, so sit down, relax, and grab your original The Batman Oreos and a cup of the Batman vs. Superman Coca-Cola Zero, because we are about to enter the world of Batman. Hello everyone and welcome to the Superhero Initiative. Today, as mentioned before, we are going to be talking about Batman, so let's get right into it. Batman first appeared in Detective Comics number 27, released in 1939, written by Bill Finger with art done by Bob Kane. Bob Kane is often credited with the initial concept of Batman. Being inspired by the success of Superman, Bob wanted to create a character of the same heroic stature, but one with a darker and more mysterious persona. By the way, if you guys want us to make a Superman video, we'd be happy to do it, so let us know in the comments below. However, Bill Finger also played a significant role in developing the actual character of Batman. Things like his costume and origin story all came from him. Bill also created the iconic Batman logo and came up with the idea of Batman being a wealthy individual who fights crime out of a sense of justice and revenge for the murder of his parents. Now on to the actual comic. In this issue, we are first introduced to Commissioner Gordon, the police commissioner of Gotham City and friend to Batman. By the way, Gotham City is a super dark and gloomy city and is also the home to Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. Gordon calls for Batman's help in solving a case involving the murder of several prominent citizens. Batman investigates and discovers that all the victims were connected through a chemical company. He confronts the killer, who turns out to be the company's owner, trying to cover up his crimes. Batman ends up killing the company owner by punching him right in the face on top of a building, sending him flying off to the ground. And guess what? Batman is not fazed whatsoever by killing this man. So yes, in the beginning, Batman did kill, but the Batman we know and love today has vowed to never kill. Alright, now on to Batman's origin story, and to be honest, I'm sure almost everyone knows this story, but we'll tell it anyways. So for anyone who doesn't know, I hope this helps. While on the way home from a movie theater, Bruce Wayne, only 8 years old at the time, witnessed both his parents, Thomas and Martha Wayne, shot in an alley by a man named Joe Chill. Now, there's a lot of versions that explain why Joe killed them. Some comics say it was an accident, some say it was a gang hit, some say Joe was hired to do it. Honestly, it really just depends what comics and universes you want to read and look into. After the death of Bruce's parents, the Wayne family butler, Alfred Pennyworth, becomes Bruce's guardian. The death of his parents drives Bruce to train his body and mind to the peak of human ability to fight crime in Gotham City. This leads Bruce to become the hero Batman, fighting crime to bring justice to Gotham City, with the help of Alfred, of course. Now, Detective Comics number 27 made Batman a very popular character, which gave him his own solo comic title in 1940. From there, this began the different eras for Batman, which we'll go over right now. First up was the Golden Age, which was from 1939 to the 1950s. The early Batman comics, after Detective Comics number 27, introduced Batman's origin, which we just talked about, his iconic allies like Robin and Commissioner Gordon, and his rogues gallery of villains like Joker, Penguin, the Riddler, Scarecrow, and Catwoman. But she's kind of also a hero. I mean, it really just depends on the day, honestly. This era established many elements of Batman's world, including the Batcave, the Batmobile, and the Bat Signal. Next up was the Silver Age, which was from the 1950s to the 1970s. In the 1950s and 60s, Batman stories took on a more lighthearted and campy tone, influenced by the success of the Batman TV series. Rest in peace to the great Adam West. There was even a movie created that continued the story of the show, involving villains we just mentioned, like the Joker, the Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, and a shark? Okay, I guess we didn't talk about that one. At the very end of the 60s, there was also an animated show called The Adventures of Batman, which later became Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder. They even crossovered with Scooby-Doo at times, and while the show was very campy, it was Batman's first animated show. Overall, this era introduced new elements like the Bat family, and expanded Batman's rogues gallery with villains like Poison Ivy and Ra's al Ghul. And then we go to the Bronze Age, which is from the 1970s to the 1980s. In the 70s, writers like Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams returned Batman to his darker, more serious roots. This era saw the introduction of iconic stories like Joker's Five-Way Revenge and The Laughing Fish. The character of Jason Todd was also introduced as the new Robin. From 1973 to 1985, the animated show Super Friends aired. Throughout its run, it had many different titles, but overall incorporated Super Friends somehow. While the show wasn't entirely focused on Batman, he and Robin were crucial parts of it, and the show saw both characters team up with other DC heroes such as Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. Batman. In 1977, we also got the show The New Adventures of Batman, which was awesome since it brought back Adam West as Batman and Burt Ward as Robin. While it was very short-lived, only lasting a few months, the show incorporated many cool things such as the goofy side of Batman, the character of Batwoman, and the infamous character of Batmite. Yeah, we don't really talk about him much anymore. He's essentially like the Scrappy-Doo of the Batman universe. And lastly, we get to the modern age, which was from the 1980s to the present day. The 1980s and beyond saw Batman become a darker, more complex character, particularly with the publication of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and Alan Moore's The Killing Joke. These stories redefined Batman for a new generation of readers and set the tone for many future Batman stories. Of course, this era is really where we got to see the darker Batman we know and love on the big screen as well.
I'm vengeance.
For the most part, I suppose. Yes, that's right. We did get that Batman and Robin movie with George Clooney as Batman in 1997. Sure, it wasn't amazing, but I liked it as a kid at least. But we can't forget some of the greats like Michael Keaton's Batman in the 1989 Batman and 1992's Batman Returns. These movies were amazing and he definitely portrayed an amazing version of the character. He even returned as Batman for the Flash movie, and even though I wasn't a huge fan of that movie, it was still cool to see him come back. We also got Val Kilmer's Batman in 1995 with Batman Forever, and while that movie can be super goofy at times, it is also somewhat enjoyable. Of course, with the launch of the DCEU in 2013, we got a new Batman with Ben Affleck, and he was actually a really good choice, but unfortunately he was really underutilized and never even got his own solo movie. And now the DCEU is over, so we sadly won't see him as Batman again, most likely. Hopefully James Gunn's new DCU casts the perfect actor and gives justice to the character. And our most recent Batman is Robert Pattinson's Batman and Matt Reeves' The Batman, which came out in 2022. And so far he has been a really amazing choice, and The Batman Part 2 is confirmed to be releasing on October 2nd, 2026. But during this modern age, there were also a lot of animated shows. The most popular one being Batman the Animated Series, which aired from 1992 to 1995. The show starred Kevin Conroy as Batman, who is an amazing voice actor for the character. Unfortunately, he recently passed away in 2022, so rest in peace to him. We then got the new Batman Adventures in 1997, which was a complete continuation of the animated series, which then ended in 1999. Then, again in 1999, we got another continuation of the series with Batman Beyond, taking place very far into the future. It took a huge risk by having Bruce Wayne retire from being Batman, giving that mantle to Terry McGinnis. But it ended up working out great, and the character and the show are still very popular to this day. Batman Beyond was even supposed to get his own Spider-Verse type of movie, but that sadly got cancelled. Throughout the modern age, there were multiple other Batman shows ranging in their tone, such as The Batman, which showed Batman's early days, Batman the Brave and the Bold, which brought back some of Batman's humorous side, Beware the Batman, which is Batman's first CGI series, and lastly, Batman Unlimited. We also saw many shows where Batman teamed up with the Justice League, which were great as well. Overall, although Batman had a few dips in this age, it has proved itself to be a large step in Batman's popularity, easily imprinting himself as the face of DC Comics. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed our hopefully quick video on the history of Batman and why he's such a popular character today. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our other history videos on Captain America and Spider-Man, or recommend more characters you'd like to see a deep dive of in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.